there, this is the Sherlock Brew Podcast series brought to you by Sherlock Supercoach AI. On the show, you'll find actionable insights and bite-sized conversations with HR and business leaders on topics that provoke thoughts and new paradigms to better understand and develop Gen Z and young millennials on your team. We'll help you look at new possibilities and gain perspectives to level up young professionals and help them surge ahead on your team. Hi everyone, this is Faye from Sherlock Brew, your host, and I'm so excited to introduce you to a very special guest today, Deep Bali. So hi Deep, so grateful that you are here with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Faye. It's been a long day for me. It's been a long year, and the year just started. Why I say that is we've been so stretched with what we are creating. So, yeah, anyways, I'm very excited, and I'm also delighted and eager to have this conversation with you.
I'm so grateful for that. And I know it's late. We have a bit of a time zone difference here, but we have been wanting to hear from you. I'm so glad you can join this podcast. So please allow me, Deep, to introduce you to our audience. So, hi, everyone. So, Deep Bali is the founder and chairman of Excalibrate Global Inc. and inventor of Sherlock AI. He is a growth renewal expert. Deep is a Columbia University credentialed executive coach, ACI, and a leadership consultant who has been developing leaders across geographies in India, Australia, US, UAE, Singapore, UK, and Sri Lanka for over a decade. So, we want to jump in today's topic because so much is spoken and unspoken about Gen Zers, from their attitude to emotional state to their own set of challenges at work and outside of work. Managers, aka leaders, are looking for ways and means to inspire them. So, Deep, what could organizations and leaders do to help these Gen Zers surge ahead?
I think where I want to start is by acknowledging that we, and when I say we, I am talking about Gen X, Gen Xers, and Gen Y, and leaders and managers out there in the corporate, we tend to generalize about Gen Zers. Now, I want to start there. We club them together and as if they were soul brothers or soul sisters. Now, that's not the case. It's not like they're peas in a pod. Each one comes with their own unique backgrounds, own unique conditioning and context. Now, the very fact that we talk so much and there's so much hype about Gen Zers and we club them, I think that is the dilemma, more than looking at ways and means to inspire them or help them search. Yeah. Now, does that make sense to you? Because if we take them individually, they are no different than other human beings. I mean, they're human. They have the same traits, they have the same faculties, if I may. The only perhaps difference is that they're born in a digitized world. When they were born, the world is wired. So I think what I'm saying is they are people who can go to the barricades to prove a point. They like accuracy, they like data, they're less intuitive than we Gen Xers, right? So that's the starting point, Faye. Not to club them and generalize about Gen Zers. What that does is, the moment we don't generalize, we open up possibilities to work with these individuals, right? So, yeah, that's where I'll stop.
And I think you brought up a really good point, and I do want to
Mhm.
follow with that because I think, especially for me as a woman of color, of a certain age, I'm actually an older millennial. And sometimes it's very easy, I think, for people to even generalize us as immigrants. And even sometimes I myself have done that as well. We're all Asian people, we should all think alike. And oftentimes we all have very different needs and ways
Mhm.
of thinking about things. And sometimes, for instance, like I grew up in mainland China, and a lot of my friends are Asian Americans who grew up here, and they're also quite different.
Yes, so that's the point I'm reinforcing, Faye. Only if the organizations and managers and leaders take them as individuals, they create more possibilities. Now, how does that happen, really? That only happens if one tunes in and leaves their preconceived notions behind, right? Gen Zers or young millennials are not the type of people who are like, if the shoe fits, then wear it. They are different in that sense, right? They are like activists. They want to stand for something. There is a world that they have beyond work, right? That's one of the key differences. And thanks to media, thanks to data, the content out there, these people are consumers of this content. So, in one sense, they are more informed, and on the other side, they also believe in the information they have. That perhaps makes them a little difficult to deal with or to perhaps lead. But like I said, it's about tuning in to these individuals. What do I really mean when I say that? What that means is, instead of saying, hey, what's the matter with Gen Zers? I mean, we hear it all the time, isn't it? It's kind of so cliched. And then the media hype, Gen Zers, their attitude, people talk about their emotional states. Again, that's hype. Again, we're bracketing them. It's not what's the matter with them. I think what we want to talk about, Faye, is what matters to them. What
Mhm.
matters to these individuals? And if managers or organizations can open up and understand and ask them what matters to them rather than what's the matter with them, well, again, the whole opportunities and the whole world of possibilities opens up. We then respond very differently to the nuances, if I may, of these Gen Zers. I mean, who's not nuanced in one sense? Yeah. So, coming back to your point, how do organizations inspire them? Well, managers and leaders would probably start with asking what matters to them, understand them first. I mean, these are cliched pieces, understand before you want to be understood, that kind of stuff. So that's one part of it. Secondly, we want to leverage what Gen Zers bring to the table. They bring agility. They do bring a lot of creativity, if I may. Now, I say that with confidence. My daughter is all of 20 years, going to be 20 this year. She studies in Perth. She's very different from many of her peer group, and she's also similar to some. Again, my point about treat them individually. Now, when I speak with her, when we are engaging on a certain topic, I see that she's far more informed. And not just that, if I say something out of intuition, she is very, very prompt in kind of pushing me back. Now, that also happens to be the case in the corporate. Maybe in the corporate, when I see people don't push back because of certain beliefs or fears or concerns. Now, it's upon these leaders to kind of enable and encourage these Gen Zers to push back. And that's, I think, one of the key skills or behaviors leaders want to demonstrate.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. If you find it helpful, please share it with a friend, a colleague, or maybe your employer. And to learn more about SherlockSuperCoach.ai, I just set the URL, which is SherlockSuperCoach.ai, our beta program, contact information, and the way we think are all on the website. And absolutely look forward to hearing from you. That's it. That concludes today's conversation. We'll see you next time.